this like digital bundle and just the technologies that are right out of the get-go in here. As one of them is an order processing interface. So this really entails when you are sitting down to essentially build up an order. So for example, Renee, you go in your garage, you check for letters, you write it down on paper if we're good or not. And you basically store that in probably like a binder and whatnot and keep it with tabs and that stuff. All of this we do digitally. And so that's part of this digital bundle is the order processing interface. And I'll show you all these as well too, right after and kind of walk through each one to give you a little context. The next one, if you hop down to the bottom left, this is a business analytics dashboard and KPIs, which stand for key performance indicators. For us, we have stuff on here like the number of orders we've completed each biweekly report. So we report our finances and our metrics biweekly in terms of finances and orders completed and goals we set and how many we started with at the beginning of that biweekly report and so on. And then there's other metrics in terms of the most popular cities, our most popular age we celebrate, the most popular setup days, how many days people are ordering in advance, and a lot of other things. I'll go a little more on that, but I'll pause there.
Will you different markets or our own market?
What do you mean by market?
In other words, are you sharing this data with the other customers, or this is only for us?
This is only for you. Yeah. So this, yeah. So this is all internally. Our customers don't see any of this. This is all our internal systems.
Well, it would be nice to know about what other markets, are doing. But anyway, I understand.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then going over to the right, that's our transactional database. So almost like a CRM. I didn't want to make it too complicated. It's just our customer data that comes in through a pipeline of our order form, and it goes right into this spreadsheet. And then the colors you see there, those are mark order statuses. So green is good. That means they paid their invoice. The blue you see there means that we've completed their service or service complete. The yellow is like we sent the invoice, but they haven't paid. Red is they canceled. And then orange is waiting for a follow-up, and there's a couple other ones, but
I like that.
So that helps us really stay on top of our things. And I'll show you a little snapshot of that transactional database where you could just focus on a couple attributes. So like the name, the city, how many days you need to set it up, or when's the setup date, and then how many days left. And so it's been very, very, very nice for us and for some of the clients that have this.
I see that. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm always concerned I'm going to overlook somebody, forget them.
What are you on this, AJ?
What's that?
What version are you currently using? I know when you first started it was version 1 and, so forth.
So version now, I would say, the version right now is 8.3. And so I have a whole audit list of all the version updates. And that started with version 1, which was the beta. And that's where I brought on my first clients. And so some of them dropped off because this is a lot of work. Like there's training, there's coaching involved. And if I put the effort there, but my client isn't, it's very hard for them to understand and learn all of this stuff, because it's not, like I said, this business is not as easy in terms of managing it than people would think. So that's kind of a little bit about the beta version coming up to speed now. As we go to the last picture up here, snapshot, that's part of our order processing interface as well too. And so this is called our inventory chart. So what that is showing is the number of letters we have. So it goes from A through Z, and it shows every single color of a letter that we have. So it's pretty small right here. but when we go into it and I show you, you'll see it break down a little better. So before I hop in and show you guys this like on a full screen, do you have any questions?
No.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Awesome. So let's go ahead. We'll hop in. First thing we're going to do is check out this add orders interface. I believe my brother's in it right now. So we'll go into here. This business insights, this is a snapshot, the snapshot I was talking to you about of the transactional database. So this tells us the number of orders we have that need to be set up between the 5th of May, between the 5th or the 22nd of May. So we currently have 14 orders scheduled. We could see the order status of each single one. And it tells us, okay, who are we going to be needing to follow up with, whether they need to pay their invoice or whether we haven't heard back from them. It tells us the number of days till setup, the day of the week, and just a brief overview of what's going on and what to look for. So going into add orders, this is going to look very scary because it is, if you've never seen it before. This right here breaks down orders that you process. And so right here on this day, we are going, my brother's going and doing the 6th order of this day. And this is this Saturday. So this Saturday is going to be very hectic. And we never go into our garage to see if something's available because we could do it from here, everything from here.
Goodness. Oh, nice.
So as you could see, just quick rundown, we fill out the customer's information right here. We select the letters that we're using and any numbers we're using, any stars we're using, and then special characters and ordinals go there. Any single balloons we want to pick, and the graphics that we're using. Yeah. So I'm sure you could see how this is like very helpful to understand what you're actually designing for the customer in terms of graphics and colors and having everything in a structured way that you could see.
Each color is a different customer.
Each color that you see is a different order, or yes, different customer. So if you see up here, this is order number 1 for the Saturday. This is order number 2 for Saturday. It's order number 3, and all the way to order number 6. That's scary to look at because there's a lot. Mm-hmm. And but yeah, so this is the processing system on where you enter everything in.
Okay.
When you see and understand whether what you built up here is available in your actual inventory, that's when the inventory charts come in. And so let me zoom in a little bit here. Right here, this tells us the available letters we have after orders, which essentially means whatever we put in here in the add orders, it's gonna say this is how much stuff we still have available to use. And then this tells us what we're actually using and what's going out.
Gotcha.
And so really, if we went over a letter that we don't have, this available will go negative. So for example, it looks like I don't have any more red. Let's see, if we go to D, I don't have any more red Ds because I already used one over here. So if I put it in, I'm just going to go to this cell that my brother's in. I'm just going to do red and I'm going to do D. And now we come to the charts. You could see that goes negative and it's like, oh snap, we can't do that because that D is no longer there. Like we don't have that available in our inventory.
That is nice.
And so that's where I go ahead and just delete that and it goes back to normal. The letters are probably the most important part in terms of seeing what goes negative. And when I mean goes negative means that we use one too many, two too many that we actually have in our physical inventory. And then as you scroll down, it's the same exact charts, but for numbers now. So of numbers available, the numbers that are depleted from those orders. Then mega numbers, it shows right here as well. Available kits right here. And so we're using our pink glitter and our happy birthday blue glitter. So we don't have any, we only have one of those. Can't use them again. Tells us our ordinals and special characters. We got our stars right here. And then we could also click in here. I could see, okay, perfect. We got 2 green glitter and extra large outline. We got 2 turquoise glitter. So we get a little more granular on what we still can use in design. And then these are the single balloons right here to make sure we're good on our single balloons, but none of these went negative. And so when I mean negative, it's just going across that 0 line. So this checks out, we're good, but there's one more thing we need to check, our graphics. And so with graphics, I couldn't represent it in a chart because there's so many graphics. And so what I did was I created this button, this smiley face button. And so this, when you click it, it zooms through this graphics tab, essentially where you store your inventory in a spreadsheet format, like right here. And it sees if anything went negative like this right here. And so when I hit this, it'll go ahead and do scanning. It's going to go through and it is going to pick up anything that we use one too many. Of course, we're good on it because my brother has been processing these, but let's go ahead and select. We only have one chef hat. I'm going to put in another chef hat. And that when you select that, it pops up right here as a picture. And so now I'm going to go click this guy and it's going to give us a red marking saying you used one too many of something, and it tells you the graphic. So the following graphics went negative, chef hat went -1. So
Gotcha. That is so nice. Oh my.
So you gotta make sure you put all your inventory when you order the new letters.
Yeah.
You gotta have so you can have an accurate count.
Exactly, Otto. And so that's the thing. When tracking stuff, technology is not magic. It's pretty simple, but you need to make sure that your inventory is up to date. And when you get new orders, that you're filling them in these other spreadsheets so that you're able to track this accurately. And that's part of the work that some sign dreamers don't want to do, which is totally fine. But I mean, I could be on a beach in the Bahamas and be processing orders and not have to worry about overlapping anything. I just got to make sure there's someone at home able to set up the sign. So you could hire employees to do that or anything. So in terms of scalability, this is a system that can allow that.
Yeah, I can see that because I've just been so nervous about, okay, do I have enough? And then it's yes, it would be very nice.
Definitely. So that's a brief introduction. And then these tabs right here is just where you actually store everything. So these are the graphics we have, the total quantity, the value, and then it just kind of gives us a snapshot. We spent a little over $7,500 on graphics over our 2 years. Then this is where you input your stars. And Sign Dreamers offers 5 different types of stars: the normal, standard, small and large, the extra large with outline. So actually, it's now 2-color large and 2-color extra large. The sizes didn't actually change, just a naming convention corporate change. So to line up with the size of these. So it might sound a little confusing, but essentially they just changed the name 2-color small to 2-color large and 2-color large to 2-color extra large. This is where we store all like letters, characters, numbers, ordinals, all that stuff. And it kind of just keeps going on. You got kits, balloons, graphic archive. I just keep this on my sake because these are obsolete. Like 2021, you're not going to be using that anymore, but I like to keep track of everything. I'm a data guy, so we got to make sure we account somewhere in the loop of things that are obsolete in our inventory.
Gotcha.
So is this a cloud-based program or a data program or?
So this is all done through Google Cloud, Otto. And so on Google Drive, that's how we have our full business is all lined up here. And so in our inventory tracking system, we could do this from anywhere, but in terms of processing orders and doing this stuff, I recommended doing on the laptop, but you can do it on a phone, or you could do it on any other kind of computer, whether it's yours or not. You just need to sign into your Gmail account.
And this is on the hard drive, or this is on the cloud the whole time?
It's on the cloud the whole time. Yeah.
It's Google. It's like a big spreadsheet, right? Like basically.
Yeah, it's a big spreadsheet that has code on the back end to do all these features that a typical spreadsheet can't do, but everything's in the cloud. So
fancy spreadsheet, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's see, going back here, the last thing I wanted to show. So all these three technologies right here are kind of what I showed you, except that let me show you the transactional database just to give you an idea really quick. So if I come into here, this is all of our customer data. I'm going to zoom out a little bit as well. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, and this auto populates when someone fills out our form. But one thing to note is if you want to use something like this, the corporate order form doesn't sync up to this, because we have our customized booking form, because we're able to add on additional services. We're able to add in offers of mega numbers. We offer birthday cakes for birthday sign setups. So people get to select that. And we have a rental and reservation agreement, how they hear about us. And we do discount codes as well through newsletters. And so just keep that in mind.
What do you mean? You sell cakes? What, like cakes?
Yep. So we partnered with my uncle, who owns a cakes and desserts business, and he gives us very good cakes at a very, very low cost. And then we go ahead and sell them to our customers.
Right, but that's not a conflict of interest with them. That's a different something else. You're an independent contractor. You can sell them whatever you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, we buy them from him, and he's like, you can do whatever you want with them. And then we just
Sign Dreamers. You know, if you sell add-on products that you can sell to a customer, right?
Definitely. And so that's what other Sign Dreamers have done. Like whether it's they have a separate balloon company, they could display, hey, when they submit a booking request, and it pops up this link after they submit it. It says like, hey, check out our other products and service lines, whether it's balloons, whether it's lawn games, whether it's inflatables, any of that can be done. But there requires a little more work to fully digitally transform your business and have all this data synced up into a spreadsheet. And so I don't want to go too into the depths here. I just want to give you like a high level of what this does. And if you guys are interested, we could talk a little bit more in depth, but I want to share this with any other Sign Dreamers that couldn't make it today.
Yes, that looks great to me.
Yeah, why not? You got somebody's birthday coming up. Why not sell them the balloons? And that's what I'm all about. Vertical markets.
Exactly. And so with the corporate booking form, you can't edit the booking form. You can't do anything. You can't change it. That's one thing that I didn't like. I mean, it's good for other Sign Dreamers. They could just have all that do for them, but we've made over $3,000 in just selling our mega numbers on our booking form. So that's kind of in itself just why we wanted to add on stuff. And when people call us or put in a booking form, we don't say, hey, would you like the mega number? Send them a text. This is what it looks like, and get a yes or no every single time. Like
a big number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really big numbers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they stand about 6 to 7 feet tall. Mm-hmm.
6 to 7 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're big, Otto. And then so when you change these right here, the color changes as well. So this is all done. This is all a manual effort. It's not automatic. It's the reason why I keep it manual is because I want people to go in here and understand what are they changing and stuff, because they know like, okay, this is like the order status of everything. And you can't go fully automated because then you're going to forget things like in here. And so that is kind of a little bit about the three technologies right here. The last one I'll jump into super quick is this analytics dashboard. And so this right here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit and go through a couple. So we have our financial metrics on here. That's separate, but that's been super helpful for us to just go, okay, how much revenue have we generated in under 3 years or since we've been in business? And it shows us right there, expenses. We donate to a foundation called Operation Underground Railroad. So we've donated over $3,000 to them, and shows us our profit margins in terms of how many orders we've completed per month. So this tells us right here.
It's about 70%, 75.
Yeah. It's been low this for quarter 1 because we had a lot of expenses in terms of gas rising. And we actually added on a new trip charge fee to kind of combat that a little bit. That has been pretty good for us, which is nice. Tells us kind of, what are the events that we're celebrating. 75% of them are birthdays. So that gives us an idea like, hey, you don't need to be buying tons of anniversary graphics. You don't need to be buying tons of like Father's Day graphics or all this stuff, but you could mix and match these things. Just birthdays is the biggest thing across the board. So when I started with our business, I was looking through all of the corporate data because they used to provide us an Excel spreadsheet of all the booking orders that came through, whether you're in New Orleans, whether you're in Cleveland, whether you're in California, you could see everyone's data, which was kind of, risky in terms of protecting data. But when I was going through there, I want to understand, okay, what are the events that people are ordering from? Every single time they came out with that spreadsheet, between 60 and 80% was birthdays. So that's why, boom, this is a birthday business, but there's still other things we could celebrate.
That is good to know.
And then this is just an idea of market channels right here. Our customers love us. And so we're starting to see 20% people that put in a booking form have ordered from us before.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of other fancy stuff on here. This helps us understand what's our most popular setup date and what's our most popular order submission date. So when are people submitting orders? And Monday is the most popular day. So when Monday comes around, I'm like, all right, Alex, which is my brother, I'm like, get ready. We're going to get a lot of orders coming through because that's what history has tended to say with our data. And so typically on Monday, we have 1 or 2 orders coming in. But it's not always like that. It tells us right there that Monday's the most busiest day to allocate our resources towards that day. Ages. This is cool. So this tells us the amount. So on the x-axis, you see the age, 10 years old, and we've done 30 setups for 10-year-olds.
Wow.
And we've done 6 setups for 100-year-olds. And actually, we've got a returning customer who will be 102 years old. Her mom will be 102. So that'll be the first one over here.
Oh my, look at that.
That's because that's California that live longer.
Beautiful weather.
Healthy.
Yeah, and so and then this last one is just like, okay, when do people tend to order in advance? How many number of days? So you could see like 4 people have ordered on the same day. But majority of our business, like you could just see over about 200 orders have been, or like they put in a booking request and it's within 4 days we're setting it up.
Gotcha.